Hi everyone. So I don't have a topic planned. I was planning on just coming up with it right now. Um, one thing I can share and talk about is my eating habits and my perception on physical exercise. So basically, what what to eat and how much exercise to do. So, society has a perspective, right? There's official perspective by the US government on what should be eaten, and this is backed up by researchers. And there's an official perspective on how much to exercise, and it's also backed up by research. And within that, of course, every single person, they can have their own views and opinions, you know. So it can be a very large number of different options to choose if you wanted to just pick someone's thing and do exactly what they do. For me, it comes down to the basic principle of what's best for all. And so when it comes to your eating and your exercising, it's really about what is it you're gonna do, what you're gonna eat that's gonna make you effective in your day. That's what it's about. It's about being effective in your life and what you do. So for me, that's the basic principle, right? So whatever it may be, if it turns out that eating only seaweed is what makes you effective as a person, then that's going to be the best thing to eat for you. If it turns out the best thing for you to eat is yogurt and cheese and milk, and that's what makes you effective throughout your day, then that's what you should do. And, same thing with exercise. Push-ups, sit-ups, whatever it may be. Whatever makes you effective in your day, do that. So that's a very basic principle that I have. Now, on top of that, really extending that, okay, well, for me, what does that mean in terms of eating? Just eat whatever makes sense. What does that mean to be effective? What are the signals of that? Basically, when I eat a meal, that it supports my body so that I have, let's say, the energy to do the work I need to do. And I've made the choice over the last 6-8 months, like a year about now, to gain more weight because, throughout my life, when I was younger, I was more chubbier. And I found that compared to the last few years when I was skinnier, that I don't know, what I was going to test this out, of course, but what I believed at the time was that by having more weight, that I would be less hungry, I'd have more energy to do things. Kind of like having a backup reserve energy, because that's what fat is. So that if I skip a meal, for example, or we don't have time to eat a meal, so I have to skip a meal, then I won't be low on energy because my body's eating the fat off. So when I tried this out and tested this out, I found that this is the case where, in terms of that, I noticed a difference for me, where it's nicer to have some fat, where I can skip a meal because things I got to do, or how things work throughout the day. So for me, I feel better. It's more comfortable. So yeah. So it's all about whatever works, right? Whatever helps you be effective in your day. What else? So also in terms of food, what particular foods you eat, for example, for me, I realize how it's a lot to do with your history. So yes, it's about what makes you effective, but how are you gonna pick? How are you gonna figure things out? Like what is actually effective for you? What helps you be effective? And for me, I relate that a lot to the history of food you've already eaten, where there's certain foods which your body's used to that you eaten for over the years, and so in a way that's that's supportive for the body to continue eating that, you know. And also with new foods, you have to test it out. Maybe it's not effective or not, or maybe your body has to get used to it. It takes time to adjust, to adapt. So for me, I grew up as a vegetarian because my parents are vegetarian. So just like someone else who eats meat as a normal part of their diet, their parents ate meat as a normal part of their diet. So same story, you know, it's just how your parents raised you. So for me, eating meat is not something that I can just go ahead and do, like naturally easy, like, you know, to go eat that, whatever it may be. For me, I had to like test out what works for my body, what's supportive for my body, what's not. So that's also like, that's an example of your history, you know, what has your body been used to eating, because it's already been shown that your body has a whole like ecosystem in a way of bacteria. You have a whole group of bacteria within your digestive tract that processes the food, you know, that isn't processed through your stomach. And if you eat something that, you know, that your bacteria in your stomach isn't used to dealing with, you know, so there won't be the right bacteria present for that, then it's gonna cause problems, you know. And they've shown that there are like different groups of bacteria that are found out there in terms of, you know, what can exist within you. So it's really amazing how that works, and it just shows that, you know, if you're going to introduce something new, it's going to take time for it to adapt, and there's a whole bunch of components involved in that, you know. So we're very much a physical thing. We're very much a physical body. It's very much a science. It's very much something that can be studied and understood. So, you know, that's, you know, with eating. Now in terms of, let's say, exercise, for me I found that it's, for me at least, I don't see a point in having muscles that are needed, because muscles are designed to do work, right? And so if, for example, if I have a job or work or daily routine that requires doing some sort of physical labor, then yes, it makes sense to have muscles for that labor, you know, to perform your day. But simply having muscles just to have them, simply having muscles to like show off or whatever, is just inefficient. It's like a waste of time. It's like, you know, for what? So for me, let's say I'm very much effective, I guess, or practical in that sense, where I don't see a point in creating a whole exercise to create certain groups of muscles which aren't going to serve you during your day. And plus you have to eat more food, more protein, in order to sustain that level of muscle, because the muscle is something that's alive, you know, that if it doesn't have the protein, it will wither away. If it doesn't have the exercise, it will wither away. So for me, I just have my body be designed for what my daily routine is. And even that includes as well the exceptional moments where every once in a while, like once a week or twice a week or once a month, twice a month, something happens, right, where I need to lift some stuff or carry some stuff. So yes, I make sure I'm able to do that, or I'm able to participate equally. But, you know, if I find that I don't, let's say there's something that needs to be done, I'm not physically able to do it, then yeah, I would spend some time to help build that muscles that's needed. But if it's not needed, and there's no, you know, no need for that, then what's the point, right? So for me, that's how I view it, because I'm not placing any value on the visual appearance of muscular bodies. So yeah. And for me, that's also a point of saving time and, I guess, saving money or saving food. You know, there's no point in eating the extra food and spending the extra time to have a certain muscular body when it's not even doing any physical labor, actually making it to some use to make it practical. Like, for example, if I had like a hard work labor, you know, as my daily routine, then yeah, I'd make sure my body matches that perfectly, where I'm exactly what's needed for my daily routine. And if that's hard labor, then it's more muscle, of course, because then it's practical. It's actually serving daily life. So yeah. So for me, one thing to consider as well is that when it comes to certain moments when you maybe feel depressed or tired or lonely or sad, always have to look also at the physical component, because even psychology, they do have this as a point of checking that psychologists are supposed to check to make sure that if someone feels depressed, that there isn't any point where they're lacking, for example, like food, for example, or that they have some physical condition which is causing that. Because it's very well known that physical conditions, physical problems in the body can lead to depression. It could be like an illness, a disease, or even just not eating enough. So that's one thing to watch out for as well. Where you feel like, oh, you're depressed or you're sad. Well, have you eaten yet today, Because if you skip meals, you don't eat for the whole day, you have a tiredness comes up because your body's actually not getting the energy it needs. So that's another thing to watch out for. And that's also the reason why I feel like having extra fat helps, because your body can eat that when you don't eat. Sometimes you're forced to, I don't know. Depends on your routine, depends on your life. But yeah. So that's how I view eating, food, exercise, what's best. There's other practical points I could probably talk about, but that covers all the main ones that I see right now. You could look at, of course, allergies, or another thing too is the emotional component, where you have an emotional view about certain foods, and that, of course, it affects your stomach. That can, of course, affect your appetite. So that's the mind coming into a situation now where that can influence and, in a way, fuck up everything, because you just, your ideas and beliefs about what's right, what's wrong, about good or bad, that's a whole separate reality that's in your head, and that can even influence your physical body, just like how not eating can affect how you feel. Same way, like what you think and how you feel can affect your body. It's actually very much an interconnected thing. That's very interesting. So, okay, thank you very much. That's all it for now. Hope this supported someone with something. So, thank you very much.